heater you saw is just a standard geomarrow radiator. They may not look like much, but they're a real lifeline to the people. The blizzards here are brutal. If we didn't have a reliable way of keeping warm, Belobog would long since have become a dead city, both above and below the surface. Isn't it just like cooking food over an open flame? If the house is a pot, then the heater is the stove it rests on.
When she puts it like that, it actually starts to make sense.
It's an ore, a special energy resource. Geomarrow grows beneath the surface. You didn't know? However, no sweat. This is your first time in Belobog. I just want you to feel some of the warmth the city has to offer. Hey, seeing as there's nothing on your plate just now, want to help me fix up this machine? Just a bit of manual labor. You might find it interesting. Great. Then let me give you a demonstration first. So that's how it works. Nice. You guys are pretty handy. You picked that up in no time. Want to be my assistants? Average pay, but I'm a good boss.
Do you just say...
I was only kidding. Just a joke. Well, I'd better carry on here. Why not have a better look around?
That's the alley that Japard mentioned. The one contaminated by the fragmentum, right? I can't believe how close it is to the city center.
If they hadn't identified it, I bet all the shops and hotels in the vicinity would have had to close down by now.
Move back! This is your final warning!
But my proof of property is inside. I don't have any...
The fragmentum has already corroded this block. You can make a property retrieval request to the architects, but only Silvermane guards are permitted to enter here.
I can't believe fragmentum corrosion has spread into the city. No wonder there are so many soldiers stationed there.
No. As long as the Stellaron is active, the corrosion will continue to spread. The soldiers can only periodically clear the fragmentum of monsters. But the monsters will continue to emerge and multiply.
Please try to understand, sir. Backwater Pass has become very dangerous. We're just here for your safety.
If I can't get my proof of property, it doesn't matter how safe I am. Out of my way! Let me pass!
just want... Wow, what a beautiful lobby! It's gonna be soft mattresses and cushiony pillows tonight. Wanna have a pillow fight later? Huh? I bet they're stuffed with goose feathers!
March. Earlier in Klipoth Fort.
Stop, I know what you're gonna say. March, you said too much back there. March, you shouldn't reveal our goal to people we don't trust. Meanwhile, you guys were beating around the bush and speaking in riddles. But check it out. Seems like we landed with a pretty sweet deal, right? We get the royal treatment, rooms in a beautiful hotel, and the full support of the locals. As far as trailblazing goes, this is smooth as heck.
That's not what I was going to say.
All right, spit it out then.
Earlier in Klipoth Fort, were you paying attention to the Supreme Guardian?
Yeah, of course. This isn't my first expedition, you know. My powers of perception are sharper than the sharpest blade. Something up with her. She seemed normal to me. She was kinda harsh at first, but she turned out to be a nice, reasonable lady. Although, it felt like she was looking through me. As in, I know she was speaking to us, but it seemed like her gaze was fixed on something far away.
I had a similar feeling. Almost as if we weren't the only people in the room.
Do you have to put it like that? That's scary. Well, there's no way he'd get past Danhung's sharp eyes.
Perhaps I'm too sensitive. She did promise to help us. I just hope she keeps her word. Let's get some rest. We need to save our energy for the discussions tomorrow. Is there anything left to do? We're meeting the Guardian tomorrow. There won't be any time for sightseeing.
It was a long day today. All I need is a... Well, don't talk about it then.
Let's get to bed early and save our energy. I sense the next few days could be tiring.
Well, I'm off to my room then. Express lights off!
Who are you? What are you?
We are allies. Allies of the Guardians in generations.
What do you want?
To rebuild this giant world. To help you achieve your wish.
Did you hear that?
There's a group of Silvermane guards at the entrance, and I don't think they're here to say hi.
If this is our escort, it's less friendly than I was expecting. I guess we'll have to find out.
Let's go and meet them. We won't know until we're down there.
Hey, Commander Bronya is waiting for you all down below. Hurry up and go see her. And no tricks.
Are we in a lot of trouble? You were there at the fort.
I am Bronya Rand, acting commander of the Silvermane Guards. In the name of the Amber Lord in the Highest, and under order of Supreme Guardian Kokolia Rand, I hereby arrest the suspected infiltrators under the charge of plotting to incite rebellion. As agent of the Supreme Guardian, I herewith temporarily strip you of your freedom of action and speech. When you are tried by the adjudication panel, you will be given the opportunity to defend yourselves against the accusations. Resistance will prove futile. You must come with me.
Wait a minute. This isn't what we agreed. She said we were going to be escorted to discuss an urgent matter.
This is an orchestrated betrayal, obviously.
Looks like we've been downgraded to accomplices. Again. It seems like it's every third planet this happens.
That's because you always act without thinking. You never have a plan.
Hey, I'm improving. I'm coming up with a plan right now. And got one! Donhung, the alley.
The one that's been sealed off. It's possible. March. Be ready to make an escape.
Huh? Really? I just wanted to say something.
Three of a kind.
Shh! It's an old Astral Express escape signal. Do you play cards?
2 pair?
Hey, what are you whispering? Let's get going.
Ace!
Have an ice day!
They charged straight in! Escaping into a fragmentum. I don't know if they're overconfident or just eager for death. It would seem that Mother's judgment was correct.
Should we report them as missing or deceased?
The Supreme Guardian's order was to arrest them. We cannot abandon our pursuit just because they fled into a sealed-off area. I must ascertain their fate with my own eyes.
Yes, ma'am.
Eradicate all threats to Belobog's security. That is what I must do.
Ha! See? They weren't brave enough to follow us. Freedom! Serves them right. Better luck next time, slowpokes. Well, you can get good at getting lucky.
We caught them by surprise. Nothing more. They'll be in pursuit soon enough. Let's follow the path. We need to guarantee our own safety before making any further plans.
Why did the Supreme Guardian send people to arrest us? Imagine launching a surprise attack when your enemy is fast.
Keep at it. Keep at it. Keep at it. Reach the end of the story in your own way.
Too late to repent. The truth of life and death. The sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
There are Silvermane guards here.
They must have entered from another direction to cut us off. We should avoid an open conflict. Let's find another path.
Doesn't seem like there's any way to open this gate. Ooh, check this mechanism out. Look familiar?
Yes, we saw one in Serval's workshop. We need to solve it before we run out of time. The guards are right on our heels.
Reach the end of the story in your own way. Reach the end of the story in your own way.
don't see a switch for the gate. Over there!
There's a monster in the area. We'll need to deal with it first.
Looks good.
Told you I could fight. Here!
Let's make it quick.
You dare underestimate me? Even though it has suffered fragmentum corrosion, this is still part of Belobog. It was our home. The guards know this place like the back of their hand. Enough cat and mouse. Drop your weapons and come with me.
You're such a nuisance. Just what crime are we supposed to have committed again? It better be worth you following us all the way out here.
My orders are to arrest you. It is for the adjudication panel to present you with the nature and penalty of your alleged crimes.
You saw us yesterday. Do you remember? Madame Cocolia received us as honored guests. How can such a drastic change have occurred in the course of one night?
The Madam Guardian investigated your backgrounds. She summoned me last night to tell me that you had deceived her. Your identities and purpose here are counterfeit. You seek to overthrow the rule of the Architects.
Huh, what a two-faced hag!
Publicly insulting the Supreme Guardian only elevates the seriousness of your crimes. Throw down your arms and surrender.
We're wasting our words, March. At least one thing is clear. We mustn't be caught.
Well, if there's no escape, then maybe it's time we gave them a taste of Astral Express medicine.
Lady Bronya!
I'll handle these evildoers myself.
Check out this awesome move! This girl's pretty strong. Hey, Don Hung! Maybe now's a good time to show off your secret strength?
You first.
You're no fun.
Intruders, give it up. You will be guaranteed a fair trial.
Ooh, sorry. I didn't mean to ruin the intensity of the moment.
What is this? I can't breathe.
I have one thing to say. Sampo never lets friends who've helped him come to harm. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say.
They will suffer, sacrifice, and die because of my order.
It is not death which creates them. They will be swept into the infancy of a new world.
What about the Underworlders? They will lose the protection of the Architects. They will see me as a tyrant.
You have witnessed the world we have promised. A temporary misunderstanding for an eternity of prosperity.
We will honor your decision.
I understand.
Come on, those toys of yours aren't that dangerous.
Then why hasn't she woken up yet?
Because she's sound asleep. Didn't you hear her sleep talking? Ah, poor child. Sounded like a bad nightmare. Tell me the truth, Sampo. What are you gonna do about the Overworld girl?
What am I gonna do about her? Why, wait for the opportunity and send her back, together with the rest of them, of course. Hey, come on, what's with the...
You're a bad liar, Sampo Koski.
What? I didn't mean to bring her along. The smoke was too dense. I was in a daze. Before I knew it, I'd somehow dragged her down here, too.
What are you up to, Sampo? Why do you insist on getting caught up in overworld affairs that have nothing to do with you? If it's a whole lot more attention from Wildfire you want, you're going about it the right way.
Hey now, Sampo Koski's primary concern is taking care of his friends. These guys scratched my back. How could I live with myself if I didn't scratch theirs? And another thing, where does Wildfire get off assuming that these fine folks won't come in useful to them, huh? I mean, you never know.
Which is why you've set them loose in the underground?
Come on, accidents happen. I'll have them rounded up in no time.
That girl... Get her back as soon as possible, then don't let her out of your sight. The underground has been sealed off for over 10 years now. The children won't even remember what overgrounders look like. If a girl in a Silvermane Guard uniform suddenly shows up, what would Wildfire do with her? What would they do with you?
All right, I get it. I'm setting off right now. I'll have to trouble you to look after them while I'm gone, ma'am.
Hey, sleepyhead. Looks like you're awake.
Yep, all the ins and outs. What does that mean? It just means you'll tell me all the details. No hiding anything and no telling fibs. Hook isn't an overgrounder, you know. Hook never tells fibs.
Yeah, never.
Well, that's settled then. Okay, let's play. Huh? You! When did you get here? This isn't just hide and seek, okay? Let me explain. It's like this. After I woke up, that doctor said Sampo had taken Don Hong with him. I went around in circles trying to find the blue-haired scoundrel and bumped into these kids. They say they know where he is. But they said I had to join the moles or something if I wanted to find out. And to do that, I had to prove my strength by winning a game of hide and seek. Do you get it? Huh, when did you start being so nice?
Hey, are you done with your secret talk? The most time is precious.
Yeah, precious.
Okay, we're done. Pitch Dark Hook the Great. This is my friend. She also wants to join the moles. Can she play too?
Sure, I guess so. Then, you guys are seeking.
Boss, they don't seem very smart. Why don't we do a practice one first?
Right, Julian. Okay, let's do a practice one. I'll hide. You two have to find me.
So, you kids think you're better than us, huh? Just you wait and see. It's simple. When you see one of them, you just have to catch them.
naughty children. The moles haven't lost a game for ages. You're doomed. Got it yet? We're the underground's greatest hiders and seekers.
Don't run! I got you, Hook!
Not fair! I'm the boss of the moles. How can I lose to a bunch of villains? Do your worst. I'm not afraid.
What are they feeding you kids down here?
You can answer this question.
What? But we caught you. What's with the Q&A?
I thought I had you there.
Something's not right. That guy's been staring at us this whole time. Hide and seek might have to wait. Let's see what he wants. My instincts are telling me something's not right with this guy. But...
Nonsense! How many 8-year-olds do you see walking around that look like this, huh?
All right, the jig is up. Your voice gave it away.
But I'm Julian of 1,000 Faces. Why did you have to talk to me? My reputation is ruined. What will the boss think?
No need for the melodrama. That was still a magical performance.
I'm sorry, boss. I failed.
Darn! How did you see through Julian's disguise? What villainy is this?
Those with keen eyes see the dust between the stars. I came up with that, by the way. Yeah, you're in the footnotes somewhere. So, Pitch Dark Hook the Great. You can tell us now, right?
Yes. The boss of the moles is true to her word. Hook saw the blue-haired guy take your dark-haired friend to the Fight Club.
The Fight Club? You don't talk about it.
Is this more secret talk?
Pitch Dark Hook the Great. Where is the Fight Club? Can you show us the way?
But it's an obvious building. Grown-ups are just useless. Come with Hook. I'll take you over.
Thanks, oh great one.
That's Pitch Dark Hook the Great.
A club just for fighting. Who knew undergrounders had such brutal hobbies?
In fact, it's awesome!
They let you take part? When did this place last have an inspection?
Loads of kids take part. We're here! This is it! Hook's gonna go fight. See you later!
Who's in charge here?
The moles are in charge, that's who. But only the kids. Wildfire's in charge of grown-up business. It's the moles for grown-ups. Ooh, they need one more player there. I gotta go. If you ever want to fight, come find me. There are so many Grown-up fights are less fun than ours. You have to use your fists, palms, and fingers.
My friend.
Brothers and sisters, are you ready for today's most spectacular, spine-tingling, earth-shattering contest? On one side, recommended by tall, blue, and handsome, the unsmiling, pulverizing power of the new kid on the block, Cold Dragon Young! And his opponent is none other than the unfeeling, incendiary, explosive might of Team Robomatic! All praise to Boss Svarog! Given that no other fighter was willing to take on the strength of Team Robomatic, Cold Dragon Young will face off against these opponents alone! On learning his fate, the brave young fighter had one thing to say: whatever! And so, let the semifinals of the 1,758th Fighting King Challenge begin!
Quick, let's help him!
Oh, brothers and sisters, an unexpected turn of events! 2 members of the audience have charged into the octagon! It looks like they want to team up with Cold Dragon Young!
So you're awake.
Yeah, the first thing we did was go look for you. And now that we found you, we're trying to make sure you don't get your butt kicked. You're welcome.
Brothers and sisters, you can feel their passion. The magnetic pull of this electric sport is undeniable. But let me reiterate, these competitions are for professionals only. Whatever you do, kids, don't try this at home. And Cold Dragon Young is signaling that the contest will go ahead. He's just itching to get into it. And so are we. It's the Iron Fists of Cold Dragon Young and friends versus the Iron Skin of Team Robomatic.
I can take them on my own, you know.
We need to work on your emotional intelligence.
Fighting is meaningless.
Time to twirl! My turn! Phew!
Let's make it quick.
Time to twirl!
Oh, what a beautiful performance! Cold Dragon Young and his last-minute admirers emerge victorious!
Admirers? How come we don't get cool nicknames? Forget it. I think our taste in nicknames is different. Hey, look! It's Sampo!
Let's get after him.
That guy can't have gotten too far. Let's search nearby.
Hey, it's you! I was just thinking to myself, am I getting robbed? Who are these people following me? So, you start to walk a little faster. And anywho, if I just turned around, I could have thrown open my arms and said a big hi to my old friends.
Save it. You saw us in there and got scared, so you pulled a runner.
Me? Scared? Oh, my friends, what do I have to fear? Surely I haven't done anything to offend you. Whoa, 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 whoa. Rewind. If I hadn't made a break for it, Japard would have caught all of us. And do you think he would have given you a chance to explain yourselves? He would have checked you straight into the Gray Bar Hotel. Meanwhile, there I was, looking out for you from the shadows. Do you know how difficult it was to make an entrance? They were watching you the whole time. I had no choice but to take you guys down here. It was too dangerous for us on the surface. We're wanted criminals. Sure, the underworld has its drawbacks, but at least the guards would never follow us. We're safe here.
Be that as it may, did you really have to poison us?
Maybe you've forgotten, but we were in a tight spot, my friend. There was no time to think. I had to use whatever I could.
So it wasn't to cover anything up? A secret that you didn't want anyone, including us, to find out?
Don Hung, what secret?
Well, I'm not certain yet. But there's more to our friend here than meets the eye.
You win. I'll help you to the best of my ability, free of charge, I might add. But please, don't go spreading rumors about me. All right, to prove my sincerity, I'll introduce you to Wildfire. If you're looking for something down here, they're the ones to ask. Have a little faith. It's like I said, Senpo never lets friends who've helped him come to harm.
So, what does Wildfire do all day?
Everything. They keep the peace, uphold justice, fight for resources, distribute goods. The sliver of trust they have for me has to do with the last one. Where's Joshua?
What are those shiny rocks?
This is geomarrow, an exothermic ore. The underground and the surface are sealed off from one another, right? Well, only the geomarrow transport line is still running. The underground sends ore to the surface, and the surface sends goods to the underground. At least in theory. Most undergrounders are miners, and this is what they mine for a living. You know, if we didn't have geomarrow to burn, this world would have frozen to death long ago. All right, let's keep moving. The person I was looking for isn't here. Old Oleg isn't here either? Where is everyone?
So you're leading us on another wild goose chase?
I wouldn't dare! Trust me, we're getting close.
Huh? What's that huge structure in the distance?
Oh, that's the furnace core. It's the pillar that connects the underworld and the overworld. People used to travel up and down that thing, but then...
Then what?
It's a long story. In any case, practically nothing moves up or down anymore.
Except you.
Oh, come on, my dear fellow. I thought we weren't going to discuss this. I beg you, the fewer rumors there are about me, the better. Mizila's usually always out on patrol here at this time. What's Wildfire up to? Are they avoiding me?
Hey, look! Who is that? It looks like she's in trouble.
My friends, don't just stand there. This drama doesn't need any more bystanders.
Oh? You know, it might be interesting to see you get in trouble.
We should avoid attracting too much attention. But we can't just leave her.
Yeah, now you're getting it.
Let's help her.
All right, princess. Let's dispense with the pleasantries.
You dare attack someone on our turf? Well, how about a few rounds of peace?
Darn it! Quick, disperse!
Spineless thugs!
Mizila, phew. It's a good thing you showed up when you did. My heartfelt thanks. These vagrants have got some nerve looking for trouble in Wildfire Terra.
Shut it, Sampo. This is you written all over it. Wildfire has countless issues on its plate right now. We don't need a side order of Koski. I hear Silvermane Guard is paying the underworld a visit. Is that you?
You kidnapped me and brought me to the underground. What is the meaning of this?
Listen to her. What is the meaning of this? She still thinks she's an overworld princess. Do you know what's become of us down here while you live the easy life? Did you even consider the fate of the underworlders?
The Silvermane Guards aren't living the easy life. We are constantly engaged with the enemy, defending Belobog from the scourge of attacking monsters and protecting all those above and below the surface.
Do you even hear yourself? You protect the underground? Redeploying every guard to the surface, sealing off the only passageway? Protecting the so-called architects, more like it.
The Madam Guardian has her reasons.
Enough talk. You're coming with me. Chief Oleg wants to see you, and he's got more than a few questions.
Perfect, Mizila. We were just on our way to pay Chief Oleg a visit ourselves. Room for a few more?
Fully booked. Who are they? What good is your name by itself?
Well, it's like this. The chief's in the market for specific talent. An urgent request, so I'm taking them to see him.
We're looking for a Stellaron. It's the source of all the disasters here. If we find it, we can...
I would recommend you not recite your story to everyone you meet. Mizila won't understand it anyway, so let's save it for the chief, huh?
You're right. I don't understand it. And I don't plan on passing the message on either. Wildfire's encountered trouble at the Great Mine. The chief's busy. If you really want to find him, come look for me at the mine entrance. I'm leaving. Hey, you came. That was fast. Didn't I tell you? Long story short, the underground used to have many mines. However, in recent years, some sort of corrosion called the one we're heading into. But with such a large group, things are much. Mines are. In order to quell the situation. Oh, as for you, the chief will decide your fate when we see him.
Good. I've been wanting to come face to face with the leader of the underworld.
You're about to come face to face with reality.
Huh? Isn't that the doctor lady?
What's Natasha doing here? Things must be worse than I thought. Nat, I didn't think you'd be here. Where's Oleg?
Hey, Zila and Sampo's guests. So it looks like you've already met. I haven't seen Oleg. The miners said they saw him take a group further in. Miners and their family members. They want an explanation from the instigators. This area up ahead is a vagrant dwelling, but they've sealed off the entrance. I guess they're afraid that angry miners might try to take revenge. I heard that many were injured in the clashes, so I hurried over here to see if I could help.
How could the situation here become such a mess?
I heard that First Mining Team found a geomarrow vein with incredible deposits. The initial estimate put it at the largest discovery in the last 30 years.
Are you serious? That's big news. How come I never heard about it?
Well, they weren't in a hurry to make it known. Most of the mines have been contaminated by the fragmentum. Many people are out of work. They were afraid of being overwhelmed if they let the word out. But the vagrants here have keen eyes. They couldn't keep it hidden from them. Some local gangs wanted to profit from the situation, so they blackmailed the mining team for hush money. And that was the final straw. As it happens, that's exactly the law we have down here. But the vagrants have their own custom. See it, share it. And that's how the clash started. Now both sides are dealing with heavy losses. So, are you guys here to help resolve the conflict?
They're here because they need a favor from Chief Oleg. I'm escorting them. And seeing as you need that helping hand, it wouldn't be too much to ask you to lend one here first, right?
Of course we want to help. We care about other people too, you know.
Of course it is. Nobody gives without expecting something in return.
I believe we're dealing with kind-hearted people here, Zila. As you've all seen, the situation down here is, strained. If you can, we would really appreciate you helping the people.
giant ore vein. The one they discovered. That must be where the clashes are centered. Come on, let's get to higher ground and take a look.
That person up ahead, is he asleep?
Let's head up and take a look. He might need help.
Falling asleep in a place like this. Impressive. Hey, wakey wakey! You'll get mushrooms growing on your head.
What? Mushroom bread? I can't see it on the menu. Miss Seela!
Have you got a death wish or something? How can you sleep here? Get back to safety and take shelter.
Take shelter? I remember now. These guys came out of nowhere and got into a fight with the mining team. At the time, I was exhausted. I'd hardly run a few feet when one of them caught me. If it weren't for Wildfire, they'd have stolen the clothes off my back. Further in, I guess. Those thugs took control of the vein ages ago, and they're fully armed. We poor, defenseless, good folks were no match for them. It's only thanks to Wildfire that the Great Mine hasn't fallen into their hands completely.
It seems like Chief Oleg must be up ahead. Hurry up and get back to safety. Look for Nat. And try not to get into another scrap along the way.
Okay. Thank you for, getting me on my feet. If I get back soon enough, I'll have time for a nap.
I recognize that woman. That's Elaine from First Mining Team. Quick, let's get... Elaine! Are you okay? Are you hurt?
Seela, thank goodness. I'm fine. Just a couple of sprains. You've got good timing. Those vagrants were asking me about the robots, but I don't know anything. Oh, don't you know? The intersection of the Great Mine has been seized by a band of robots. Neither the mining team nor the vagrants can get anywhere near.
New challengers enter. About time. Human-only conflicts are so boring.
Does anyone know where the robots come from?
At first, we thought that a collective fault had occurred in the excavation machines, but then we found out that those machines didn't even belong to the mining team. They came out of nowhere and pushed the vagrants and us back. Then they blocked off the only tunnels into the intersection. There's no way anyone in the mining team is behind this. Operating a single unit is tiring enough, but a whole group? Impossible.
Then there's only one possibility. Boss Svarog.
Svarog? That name sounds familiar.
You remember the robots we defeated in the boxing gym?
Oh, Boss Svarog's robots! What's his deal?
Let's just say he's not to be trifled with. Let's go and find some other people. Elaine, can you make it back to safety?
No problem. Seela and the rest of you, be careful.
Robots? Aligned against humans? I've never heard of such a thing. Machines should obey humans
Is this elevator broken? Why isn't it responding?
Why are you worried about this piece of junk? Do you really want to go down there and be a live target for the robots?
But if we evacuate, then haven't we lost out?
You idiots. We'll just steal off the miners. Look, I saw with my own eyes. They managed to bag some geomarrow. This is a perfect opportunity.
Oh, good idea.
Shameless. Still after the miners, are you? Time to teach you a lesson.
Tough luck running into me! Here! Hey! Time to twirl! Try that again! You can't run! Time to twirl!
Too late to repent.
Fleeing at the first sign of danger. That's all they're good for.
Huh? What's this? Did those guys leave it behind? Whoa! What the heck?
Beep, beep, beep! Searching for potential user. Beep, beep, beep! Voice print detected. Looking up corresponding identity information. Oh my, it's an alien!
Hey, it talks! And it knows that we aren't from this planet?
It doesn't seem to be technology from here. Look, it even has an Interastral Peace Corporation logo on it. Perhaps it's an antiquity left behind by some past interstellar traveler.
Beep, beep, beep. Your mom's an antiquity. Beep, beep, beep! Whatever. So you aliens know about the Interastral Peace Corporation? That's great! Beep, beep, beep! Self-introduction. I am Richard, the Home Use Object Finder. Model information. Version 0.63. Professional model. Annual deluxe package. Nickname? Findy.
A home use object finder? Who knew the IPC made these kinds of products?
Beep, beep, beep. My brainwave scanner module is damaged. Please send me to an Interastral Peace Appliances retail store near you for free repair within the warranty period of 232 years, 84 days. Beep, beep, beep. Alien, please take me to an Interastral Peace Appliances retail store to conduct repairs.
What? This fella's already broken. What should we do? Take it with us?
Beep, beep, beep! Yes! When you need to find something you can't see, just call upon Findy. That's me!
What was that? Think you could take on me?
Reach the end of the story in your own way. Reach the end of the story in your own way.
Hey, what's that commotion? It sounds like there's a big argument happening. Let's get closer and take a look.
Cowards and bullies. I don't remember you guys acting this tough around Svarog's minions. Did your parents never teach you what a backbone was?
We ain't stupid. Why would we risk our lives against the robots? And get off the high road. You can't just find a huge chunk of geomarrow and hog it all to yourselves.
This mine is our territory. The mining team is laboring here day in and day out. You guys don't even pretend like you're here to lend a hand. You're lazy. All you want is to profit off our sweat and tears. You don't even try hiding it. Disgraceful.
Where does disgrace come into it when we can't even fill our stomachs, huh? I know your game. You're just waiting for us to starve to death so there's more food for your mining team.
It's a waste of time trying to reason with you. While you've been kicking up this fuss, the whole vein's been seized by robots. Now we're all in the same boat.
Right. We can't rely on the vein anymore. But don't forget which side brought loaded guns to the party.
Whoa, easy. What are you trying to pull off? I'm warning you, wildfire are in the area.
Empty threat. Wildfire are stuck dealing with Svarog's minions. How are they gonna help you now? Unless you're planning on taking a bullet. Hand over the supplies and equipment.
They're getting ready to attack. Those miners are unarmed.
You shameless scoundrels!
I'm going to. We can't let these thugs get away with whatever they like.
Aha! Interesting. And who do we have here? Do you know whose territory this is?
Shut it. This isn't your territory. I'm in a hurry. I'll take you all in one go.
Rules are made to be broken.
Time to twirl!
Oh, Zila, thank goodness you came. We were nearly,
Nothing but a few knuckleheads. I'm just glad you're okay. Antonia, have you seen Chief Oleg?
Oleg? He took a group into the intersection. Said it was to clear off the invading robots. They've been gone for a while now. If Wildfire was around, those thugs wouldn't have dared.
Seems like the core of this problem is Svarog's robots. Your run-of-the-mill robots don't have a will of their own. Their aim is merely Svarog's aim. The boss, he appeared suddenly after the guards were redeployed and became a major player in the underworld. Svarog claims to be a guardian of humanity, while the ownerless robots obey his commands. They've occupied the Furnace Core hub, and they're not letting anyone get close. Nobody knows why Svarog did any of this. He usually doesn't leave the Furnace Core and interfere unless some kind of disorder breaks out in the underworld.
Wait, a guardian of humanity? That can command robots? I've never heard of anything like.
Looks like your mighty architects weren't as all-knowing as you thought.
Can you two say anything without quarreling? This isn't the time! It sounds like there's danger waiting for us in the intersection. Can we still get through?
Right. There's unfinished business here. The chief is still down there. It's only a bunch of scrap metal. What are we afraid of?
Oh, is Zila starting to appreciate our strength?
I'll be honest. You guys are hardworking. If everyone from Wildfire were as impressive as you on the battlefield, we wouldn't be so hard-pressed by Svarog. Antonia, can you take the mining team back through the entrance to meet up with Natasha?
Sure thing, but be careful. There are a lot of robots up ahead.
this the right way? It looks like there's a roadblock up ahead.
I'll be the judge of that.
It's completely blocked by the mine cart. What do we do? Can we blow it up?
Easy. It belongs to the mining team. We can't just destroy it. We should try and fix it.
Easier said than done. Do you know how?
Yeah, of course. Every underworlder worth their salt knows how to fix a minecart. Let me see. Even the pin connecting the body to the chassis is broken. Not to mention the rear wheel set bearing. This looks like the work of Svarog's minions. We need to find spare parts we can use nearby. We're wasting time.
Beep, beep, beep! Friends, do you need to find something? Mindy can help?
How come you just jumped out on your own, little fella? Isn't your module thingy broken?
Beep, beep, beep. My brainwave scanner module is indeed broken. However, manual input for search is still operable. Come on, input the name of the object you were looking for. Mindy can help.
Oh, well, aren't you confident? Let me give it a try then. Where's the input interface? Found it. Minecart pin, minecart wheel set, confirm. Just like that?
Beep, beep, beep. Request is being processed. Beep, beep, beep. Match successful. Initiating search for lost item, minecart pin. Beep, beep, beep. Item found. Please commence search according to the Home Use Object Finder Safety Manual.